57 and broke. Let's get into it, guys.
Hey everybody, I am recording this in my car, which I don't record in my car very often. I usually will do it at home with a full setup, but I wanted to jump on.
I am curious. Are you guys broke right now? What is your? Well, I mean, you are obviously, but I would say people are for sure struggling, man. I don't know, man. This environment is crazy. Nobody's paying nothing, and if they are paying something, they expect you to freaking pass out over the work, or like you gotta, well, like, okay, let's say you're getting hired for 25, right? You're probably doing $50 worth of work easily. So I don't know, man. It feels like either way you're screwed. I don't know.
And as you all know, one of my slogans is truth, transparency, and triumph. And I have, been wanting to share things, but it is difficult because I battle with who's going to watch it? Is my family going to see this? Are those quote unquote so-called friends or my foes, whatever, going to see this? But I also say, which is my tagline, I tell my truth without shame and guilt so you can tell yours. Well,
I mean, nothing wrong with what she said right there, but anybody else also feel like that my truth thing is really like trolly? Like, dude, I mean, if my truth, right, is like, I believe I'm a hamster, like, is that really, you know what I'm saying? But like, at what point could you not say that? Maybe, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you have the right to tell somebody, like, you know? I don't know, crazy. It's even crazy world we're living in that, like, that's even a question.
I'm going to start here. I've been trying to figure out where to start. I pre-recorded originally a video about me and the first guy that I dated in college. And I scrapped all of that because it was really, the way I did it was boring. I was bored with my own video. But I don't know how long this is going to be, but like, I'm in my car. I'm actually at work, and this is during lunchtime. And I said, Celeste, if you don't do it now, you won't do it. It has been really tough for me, and because of some decisions that I have made that I regret making. I always talk about Atlanta, and I feel like when I left my corporate job making a good salary and decided to chase a dream, thinking everything would fall into place, things would be in order, my life blew up. It has not been the same in 3 years.
The thing about chasing your dreams is, right, you kind of have to already be skilled to accomplish your dreams, right? So if you're not completely, like, I mean, there is times where you should take a chance on stuff, but I'm gonna be honest with you, like, if you don't have it all together, you probably shouldn't do it, just because it's not really, the likelihood is low. Even for me now, I feel like I'm just kind of figuring it out now, and like, dude, but I wouldn't have gone out and just did this on a whim. You know, I still have a job, and I still have other things I do anyways that I don't know, but I don't know how much of a whim she went out on. But I'm just saying, like, it usually doesn't work, but at the same time, everyone's situation is different. Like, everyone's situation is different.
And I've had a lot of thoughts around it, and I may talk longer than I need to, but so I'm sorry. And I might have to break this up. But when today was a hard day. Reality is something else. I recognize that most of it is my doing and undoing. And honestly, I really want God to wave a magical wand and take me back to the day I was going to resign and listen to the advice I was given. But I didn't, because I think I'm grown and I have the answers. And I found out I don't. I used to say I would want to go back before that bad relationship out of college. And I'll talk about that. But I don't want to go back that far. I just want to go back 3 years. The scary part about it is, even if I had made what I thought would be the perfect decisions, it doesn't mean anything would have ended up differently. I still could have been in this predicament. I didn't see this coming. I thought I had prepared, and evidently I didn't.
Would you rather chase a dream or prepare and you may never chase the dream? I think there's a balance, but honestly, for me, I would say you kind of do have to prepare. It's unfortunate, right? But you can't just go through life and... I mean, you can. Some people are extremely lucky and they just get to do it immediately. But besides that, most people are going to have to build from something. It's not always easy.
Which makes me think about a couple of things. Okay, so what happened was, let me just go back. When I left my corporate job, I was 54, I believe, 53, 54. And I'm on the latter half of my life. And sometimes I think...
Oh, she left her corporate job like 3 years ago. Okay. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done that. Like, if you're 54 and you don't have it all together, by then you should probably take a safer route. Because it's like, if you didn't take those risks earlier, you got to be extra careful now.
And ask myself, what was I thinking? Was it really that important to you?
If the job isn't miserable, of course.
Could you not have just kept it going and done this later? But I didn't. So I stepped out. I believed everything would fall into place and I would be okay. And y'all, when God tells you something, listen and be obedient to it. And I didn't. And I know that is part of the reason I'm having issues today. When I left to go to Atlanta to pursue acting, I kept hearing, you're not going to need to look for a job. You're not going to need to look for a job. And unbeknownst to me, he had something waiting for me. Before I left, someone here in Memphis connected me to somebody in Atlanta about...
Oh, she's from Memphis. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee.
Working.
That's where I want to buy a home eventually.
A job. And I started going through the process, the interview, filling out the application, and able to do the job. It was something that was right up my alley. Unfortunately, I allowed myself to I self-sabotaged. And I said, you know what? I can't do this job. I'm going to be acting. I don't know when I'll need off, when I'll do this, A, B, C, and D. Made an excuse because I'm thinking it's going to be okay. You'll get someplace steady, consistent. You'll be able to take off when you need to and so forth. Because I'm thinking, I don't want to interrupt or get anybody else in trouble. If I had been a little bit more wise and I guess maybe selfish, I would have taken the job without question. That was in October of 2022, rolling into November. I did not find a job until September of 2022. Almost a whole year. I hustled. I drove DoorDash. I did Amazon deliveries.
I want to be honest. I mean, I know this is how I feel. I feel like Uber is a complete scam. Just my opinion. But if I start making an income from YouTube, I might do a little Uber, just so I can quit my job. Because, dude, I'm tired of going into work, all that crap. It's over with. That's why you're going to start seeing crazy amounts of videos. Because, dude, Nah, dude.
Night at Walmart. I did everything I could. And I'm sorry, y'all. I did it's called InstaWork. Everything I could. And then I also ended up withdrawing my pension and my retirement.
Oh, wow.
Because I just didn't have enough money. And this is not how I expected things to go. I really didn't, because I'd always landed on my feet. And this is the first time I had not. So I went and I finally got a job and was working at a company. Had talked to them, told them I do acting. Every now and then I might need some time off. Because, I wasn't doing like big time. I wasn't gone all the time. It was fine. They hired a manager who had a problem with it. And she didn't want to give me any additional opportunities. She had issue with me. And I'm a worker. I'm dependable. Most of the time I was there, and I would look around and I would see other people not showing up for work, leaving early, coming late. And that's not how I work. I'm going to be on time. I'm sorry. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to work my butt off. I'm going to help you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to leave on, I'll leave at my designated hour if I don't have anything else hanging or, over. I eventually ended up leaving in April because she was riding me. And I was like, I am not going to put up with this.
All I was going to say was really, it's just like the ultimate, not ultimate, but the typical case. Like, you just can't always go out and do something. But I also feel like, I also understand, because if, let's say you are 54 and you're like, I want to take my chance, like this might be my last chance. I also get that too. But you'd have to save so much money, you'd have to be so good that if it didn't work out, you'd be fine anyways.
Well, sorry, was checking to see if someone else was there, but I ended up finding another job. I was working Amazon in the warehouse. Did that for a while. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And eventually got another job. Okay, that was April. In July, started a new job in July 10. It was a contract to hire position. So I was getting on my feet and everything. And I felt bad because my goal was, the young lady I was living with, I was only going to be there a year. And I ended up being there the whole time, minus maybe a couple of months, few months. Because what ended up happening, I got my job, I was getting on my feet, I was like, I want my own place. Moved out, and the place I moved into was roach infested. And I thought, okay, maybe this is a fluke. I'm seeing a few. They exterminated. It's probably been empty a while. But no.
I had an issue like that. The first place I got was, but the rent was cheap, $6.75. So it wasn't roaches. There was small bugs, but it was so weird. I tried so hard to get rid of them, and I just couldn't. Eventually, they ended up raising the rent price to $8.15. I was like, I'm not paying for this, dude. Tried living in my car. Don't do it. Don't do it. Did not work out.
Y'all, I slept in my bedroom, tried to cover the door so they couldn't get in. It didn't matter. They got in. I woke up one morning and there was some crawling up the wall. And I thought, I can't do this. I had ordered furniture and I had to cancel that order. I never unpacked, and then I would have to unpack when I got ready to leave. When I finally was like, I've had enough of Atlanta. Nothing's working out. I'm broke. I can't seem to get on my feet. I'm not bouncing back. I was stressed. I thought, I'm going home, and I had been talking to my sister and everything, and I hate it because I felt like I quit too soon and I gave up, but I did not. I felt as if I didn't have a choice. So I talked to my employer and she said I could work remote if I committed for 2 years. Y'all, when you get ready to make a major decision, talk to God first. Because you can talk to people and they will talk you out of what you ask God for. Because I asked God specifically, if I could have a job, I could work remote, I could stay with this company, and I could move back to Memphis.
I want me a remote job. That's what I want. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm being a real deal with you. That's like the best way you don't have to deal with this crap anymore. Well, so you think.
In my ear, and then even me, so I can't blame it on them because it was my final decision. I decided not to work remote. I regretted that because I'm thinking I'll go back to my old company. That did not happen, and I'm still not there. I've been back since August of 2024, and it is, what month is this? This is February of 2025. I applied for several positions, and I have enough rejection emails from them. If I printed them out, I could wallpaper at least one wall. I am not going back. I don't know what's on my file, but they are not hiring me back, period. So I've had to live with that. You know, before I left, my boss told me, don't leave. But I left anyway. Much regret. But here I am, February, and I realized, back in August, I moved in with someone, and it was not the ideal situation. I had conversations with this person before, and I should have gone with what I knew. In the beginning, the person didn't want me to move in, and I should not have. Eventually, she opened up her doors to me, and it wasn't horrible, but there were challenges. And there are other things I won't discuss, but there were challenges.
Yeah, I don't think I could do a roommate anymore. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is a 2-bedroom, but yeah, I can't do roommates, dude. It's already too many issues with people. People have their own deals, and I just can't do it.
But she allowed me. We set our rent. She was very kind about it and everything because I was still looking for a job. So I just tried to make sure I could give her, what we agreed upon every month. And I did. I got here. I DoorDashed. I did anything I could. Mostly was DoorDash to make money so I could try to keep up with my bills. Something happened and I felt it was time for me to move out. I did get a contract position in October, but by that time I was behind on a few things, not severely. Moved out, got my own place, and I am happy about having my own place because ain't nothing like going home and it's quiet. Run through your house, however you want to. So,
she seems like a nice lady. I feel like not everybody's scumbags, but I feel like there are a lot of good people that do the right thing. Maybe, like she said, we all have mistakes, but it's gonna get more difficult. And I think also because people are just living longer, this is more of an issue, and it's going to be as we live longer.
Decorate how you want to, move things around like you want to. You know what I'm saying. Moved in, just felt that, applied for the apartment, moved in. It's a good apartment complex. The rent is not ridiculous. It's decent in my opinion. Still on a contract position, trying to make ends meet. They are waving at each other. Every now and then they shake hands. And I don't know what happened in the last 30 days, and it just seemed like everything, it's as if the bottom is falling out. And I go through this, God, I've done everything I believe you've asked me to do. I do need to have a little bit more joy behind it. I believe I'm where I'm supposed to be. I believe I was supposed to come back to Memphis. I believe I was supposed to go to this place, do this, X, Y, and Z. Why am I struggling? Where is the support? And I keep thinking back. He set everything up, and I feel like I spit in his face.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things in life where you do all the right things, but for some reason it doesn't work out. Maybe that's the Matrix, Maybe that's the Matrix for us, It's just this game of life, It just keeps going, and either you catch up or you don't, but it keeps going, and even if you catch up, you're still not caught up enough. It's really insane. That's why, honestly, I'm trying to go down to like $0 in bills, because it's gonna take a while. I got my own problems, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
And I'm being punished, but I know that's not how God works. These are the repercussions of my own actions. And I'm not angry at him, but I am angry with myself. And it's been tough. I have one person who I tell everything to. And I know somebody watching this thinks it's them, but it's not. Sorry, I almost went somewhere. Because I realized you cannot share with people even if they're considered a friend. I just got to a point where I was tired of being stuff thrown back in my face, no support. Sometimes I just need people to listen and let me just have my moment and not criticize me for it. But I'm going to leave that over there. Right over there. Okay, so
I do understand that. It would be nice to have somebody you could just confide in, you know, really talk to, but dude, that's far and few in between. Like, even I'm realizing, sorry for that, it's garbage truck. Don't know if you can hear it, but I realized, yeah, like, I am kind of a listening ear. I will let you, you know, get what's off your chest. But I realize, you know, not a lot of people, really nobody actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, lets me, like, you know, really express myself. And it's like, it's sad, man. And it's like, you just know they're not listening, so I just stop trying. So, yeah.
but I have someone, I consider her sister, a really good friend that I can talk to, I can call, she'll pray with me. She understands the spiritual things I'm going through, as well as the physical and the financial. And I don't feel horrible when I get off the phone, where with so many other people, I feel like crap. I am hard enough on myself. And it's difficult because I think back to who I am. I went to school on to college on an academic scholarship. I graduated with honors. I'm talented, I'm smart, I have a great work ethic. And it's just been hard because I'm not making the money I was making. But God knows I am so grateful to be working. And I've just panicked because I'm trying not to resort to any of my old ways. I don't want to borrow any money. Because of course my credit has tanked, my life to come back together. And it's hard. And I think, oh my gosh, I am 7 years on the other side of 50. And
I get nervous about that too. I am 29. But at the same time, I think to myself, okay, well, maybe just live longer and this won't matter, right? Like, I don't know. I guess if you had the time frame, you might die when you're like, well, I don't want to say, you know, but like, let's say 73. If you shoot for 120, well then, yeah, now this doesn't seem as bad. Now it doesn't seem like you wasted as much time, you know? But I guess basically what I'm saying is, you know, just keep your health. And you can fight through any financial issues you do have.
waiting for this to work out is hard. And I don't know what I'm going to do. She kind of laughed at me because I said, you know what? I'm at the point where I want to give away what I can give away, put all my stuff in storage, and live in my car. I don't want to do that. Please, God.
Don't do it. Do not do it. Do not. I was agreeing, but then I heard, no. I'd much rather live in a storage unit than live in your car, dude. It's horrible. I don't even want to get into that.
That is not what I want. I don't want to do that, but that's how I feel because I feel like that's the only way I'm going to catch up and get back on track. This is hard. This is harder than I thought it would be, and it's the first time in my life I have felt like I don't have an out, that I'm stuck and I can't move, and that is suffocating. And it makes me, in this wide open space, claustrophobic, life claustrophobic, and it's difficult. I love my job. I mean, it's not anything to write home about, but it's peaceful here. I get along with, I get along with the people. My manager here is great. I cannot complain. Everything that has happened are the repercussions of my actions because I chose to chase a dream and I feel like I did it the wrong way. So here I am. I'm sitting in my car at work, and I said, record the video. Somebody I watch and used to follow, I don't follow anymore, I won't call their person's name, but they were a financial guru, said something. Basically, if you haven't, I guess you haven't accomplished or gained or whatever, you shouldn't be on YouTube. You shouldn't be talking about your life. You need to, basically saying you need to wait until, you're all set and you're good and you can go back and talk about how you made it. Y'all, I'm in it.
I understand, basically, yeah, you gotta, get your skill up first. It's basically, I feel like, what the person was saying. And it's true, you have to have some sort of skill base to be able to pull this off. And like, I feel like people get sometimes emotionally attached because like, I've been doing this for 10 years, and it's like, true, but you gotta have 10 years of experience. Let's say 10,000 hours, right? You could be doing something for 10 years, but only have 2,000 hours of experience. So you're not as expert as you should be. And, people get very attached to their dreams and make irrational decisions.
And I'm going to record while I'm in it. And this is hard because this is embarrassing.
And if it makes her feel any better, in a way, it's not acting because she's obviously being truthful, but maybe it is. Maybe this is her performance, and she did completely well with the views on it. So I would say she's successful.
This is not how I thought my life would be. But there are so many other things I know I have to be grateful for. I'm not, I don't have any, I guess, crazy, I'm not homeless. I'm not homeless. I still have my car. But, I'm just tired of robbing Peter and Paul to pay Andrew, who now wants his money. I know, it's crazy the way I say those things. But I'm tired. I don't want to borrow. I don't want to ask my family for help. Not that they would. Not that they would have an issue with it, but I'm too old. I need this to come together. I need this to work out. I need to know that God is with me and he's working this out. And I just don't realize it yet. And a lot of times I isolate when things are bad. And it's hard because I feel alone. I feel like nobody understands.
Don't we all feel that way? I feel like nobody understands me. I feel like a lot of times, man, I'm just off in this weird world where I'm just like doing all this stuff, and like I feel like I just don't relate with many people. I feel like, dude, like, not that anything's wrong, but it's just, I just feel like I don't get most people, and I also feel like most people just don't get me. It's a weird, I don't know, but I feel like nowadays everybody is alone, This world wants you to be alone. This world wants you to be angry by yourself. It's so easy to fall into that trap.
And when I think about my own situation, I think about people who have children who are trying to make it and they're doing the best they can. I don't know how people do it. And they make less than I do. I'm sorry. They make less than I do. I'm so sorry, y'all. I need a napkin. I'm so sorry. They make less than I do, and they make it. I'm not on any assistance. I can't have any assistance. It's just me. And as far as the government is concerned, I do not have a poverty level. I'm not at a poverty level. But I got on to record this because if I don't, I would not have the courage to do it later. I'm going to try to get on tomorrow. I've got another series I'm doing called No Eating Out. And part of the reason of no eating out was I realized how much money I was wasting. So I am doing and making steps to get my life back in order. And that's where I am. I don't know where you are, what challenges you have financially or wherever else in your life. But just and I hate to say it this way because it was like, don't be telling me that. Keep the faith if you are a disciple of Christ. Keep your faith. Know that God is with you. He said in his word, he would never forsake you or abandon you. And I always go back, and then you have to read the whole scripture. You know, it says, I've never seen, I'm going to mess it up. The righteous begging bread. I messed up that scripture. I just ruined it. But
I think she has a lot of good points in there, and it's just, I feel like, I guess the only thing you can do is keep faith. It seems nearly impossible, though. The world seems like it's trying so hard to just ruin your day, you know, and just take everything from you, and then ask for more once it's over. Um, yeah, so that was 57 and broke. I will admit I am 29 and not broke, but we all still have bills. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I can't retire. So it don't matter how much money I have, but yeah, I'll see you guys next video, man. Peace.